Hello, my name is MGarcia, and this is my triangulated analysis report for READ536. For this analysis, I examined the units of study for teaching reading from Heinemann Publishing. The grade level I analyzed was first grade. There are 4 units in the first grade program, and I specifically analyzed Unit 3, which is entitled, Readers Have Big Jobs to Do, Fluency, Phonics, and Comprehension. The goal of this unit is to provide readers with an authentic purpose for problem-solving words on the run, maintaining meaning, and reading fluently. My area of focus for this analysis is fluency and this program's strengths and weaknesses through the lenses of educational theory, best practices in fluency instruction, and development of the Common Core state standards. Through my analysis, I found that the units of study for teaching reading had evidence of several theoretical perspectives of literacy instruction. The first is Holdaway's theory of literacy development, which proposes that the development of reading is natural and very much mimics children's natural development of oral language. Holdaway identified 4 processes central to literacy learning: demonstration, participation, practice, and performance. Evidence of this theory can be seen in the consistent structure of daily instruction throughout the units. Every fluency strategy is introduced through a mini lesson that includes a demonstration of the strategy by the teacher, active engagement, during which students are asked to participate in guided practice of the strategy, partner reading, in which students practice using the new strategy while getting feedback and encouragement from a peer, and finally, independent reading, where students are asked to demonstrate what they have learned while being encouraged and supported by the teacher during individual reading conferences. More evidence of this theory can be seen in the emphasis on shared reading and the way the workshop model fosters children's independence and self-regulation while immersing them in meaningful language experiences with high-quality children's literature. The next theory that was evident in this curriculum is the metacognitive theory. A constructivist approach, metacognitive theory suggests that successful text comprehension requires thinking about one's own thinking and the role that thinking plays in the reading process. Evidence of metacognitive theory can be seen in this program in the teachers think aloud during explicit strategy instruction. Teachers are encouraged to make their thinking visible to students with the intention of modeling for students how proficient readers think while they read. More evidence of this theory can be seen in that the curriculum provides many opportunities for students to become self-aware of the strategies they are employing while reading and which strategies work best for them. Vygotsky's theory of social constructivism is also put into practice in this program. Vygotsky theorized that social interaction plays a fundamental role in cognitive development. Providing opportunities and environments that promote social interactions such as discussion, feedback, and collaboration is key to learning. Social interaction is integral to this program. Structures such as partner reading, post-read aloud discussion routines, whole and small group instruction with support, and conferring promote discussion, feedback, and collaboration. Key concepts from Vygotsky also include the zone of proximal development and scaffolding, both of which are highly evident throughout this program. These concepts are put into action through the program's emphasis on differentiated instruction and the gradual release of responsibility from teacher to student. Finally, an overarching theory of this program is whole language theory. Similar to the theory of literacy development, whole language theory is child-centered, viewing reading as a natural process that is encouraged through a child's experience in a high-quality literacy environment. Emphasis is placed on authenticity, meaningful literacy activities, and self-directed learning. The Units of Study for Teaching Reading is a program that emphasizes authenticity and reading for meaning above all else. This is evidenced in the emphasis on the literacy environment and how it should be curated to create a community of learners who love reading. This is also not a basal reader program. Skills in this program are never taught or practiced in isolation, but instead in the context of high-quality literature. Student choice of reading material and how they engage with the reading is encouraged. According to Kuhn and Rosinski, authors of the Fluency chapter of Best Practices in Literacy Instruction, there are 2 aspects of fluent reading that are integral to literacy development. The first aspect is automaticity and the second is prosody. Kuhn and Rosinski give suggestions for improving automaticity and identify 4 overarching principles of instruction that should guide creation of best practices in fluency. The first principle is that students should have the opportunity to hear their teacher or some other skilled reader model fluent reading for them. Principle 2, students are provided with support while they are reading aloud. Principle 3, Teachers need to help focus students' attention on reading in syntactically appropriate and meaningful phrases. Principle 4, students have ample opportunities to read text. When Kuhn and Rosinski described automaticity, they stated, teachers must devise ways to help move students from purposeful decoding to effortless word recognition. Practice consists of work on word recognition, but also supported reading of a wide variety of connected text. The 4 principles of fluency instruction are evident throughout the units of study for teaching reading. The following instructional activities are evidence of best practices. Reading Strategy Mini-Lesson. During either a whole group or small group fluency mini-lesson, the teacher gives a quick, explicit teaching point on a fluency strategy, demonstrates the strategy, and students engage and practice with the strategy. Students not only have the opportunity to hear what a fluent reader sounds like, but the teacher can be metacognitive about how they scoop up words or change their intonation to read in meaningful phrases. The emphasis of these lessons is on prosody, not reading rate. The practice of shared reading encompasses all 4 principles of fluency instruction. The teacher teaches a 5-day lesson plan using the same text each day. Each session begins with a warm-up of a reading of a familiar text and ends with a comprehension-focused conversation to increase meaning-making. Each daily interaction with the text for that week has a different focus, with the goal of students being able to read the selection in an increasingly fluent manner over the course of the week. Partner reading. In first grade, partnerships focus on reading stamina and volume, which allows for more time dedicated to eyes on print and means more volume and variety of text is read. The partners also provide support to one another while reading aloud. Conferring. In this unit, the teacher conducts quick reading conferences to assess fluency skills. Teachers are directed to pay attention to pacing, the number of words student typically reads in each phrase, whether the reader uses expression to communicate understanding of the text, how closely the reading matches the student's oral language skills, and the extent to which the reader uses punctuation to change their intonation. The teacher may deliver and model a quick teaching point responsive to observed student needs around fluency. This is yet again another opportunity for students to have support as they read aloud. The students read a variety of texts while the teacher coaches them on phrasing and other previously learned fluency strategies. Interactive read aloud. During the read aloud, students have the opportunity to hear what a fluent reader sounds like, and the teacher can model how prosody and intonation changes with character, feeling, and action. Guided reading. During guided reading, the teacher gathers a small group of students reading at the same instructional level and provides a book introduction that prepares readers for meeting the challenges they will encounter in the book. Each child then reads the book at their own pace as the teacher takes turns listening in, supporting and coaching them on their individual needs, which can include fluency. Other practices in this unit that incorporate a focus on prosody include readers' theater, an end-of-unit celebration where students go to a kindergarten class to show off their fluency skills with a book they have repeatedly practiced throughout the unit, and an inquiry lesson that includes listening to an audiobook and making a chart of the prosodic elements they notice from the reader. Students then have the opportunity to create their own audiobooks after several rehearsals. Their most fluent version is stored in the class listening center for other students to use as they read along. An emphasis on automaticity is communicated through the inclusion of several word recognition strategies. These include sight word recognition and word attack strategies, such as getting your mouth ready to say the first sound, chunking the word into smaller parts, or thinking about the kind of word that would fit in the context of the sentence. Although several strategies for word recognition are incorporated throughout the program, one major component of word recognition missing from the units is explicit, systematic instruction in phonics. Although phonics is not a standalone word recognition strategy, having phonics knowledge is no doubt valuable and can be used in conjunction with other word recognition skills. Any skill that increases automatic word recognition will lead to gains in fluency and in turn comprehension, which is the goal for all readers. Another best practice for fluency instruction, described by Kuhn and Rosinski, but not included in the units of study for teaching reading, is the fluency development lesson. Research has shown significant gains in fluency with this type of consistent fluency practice. First, the teacher reads a short text as students follow along. Then the students read the text chorally as a group. Next, students work in pairs to read the text. Then, students perform for their classmates reading alone or in small groups. And finally, the class engages in word study with words from the text. In an extension to this activity, the text is sent home for students to practice. All units and lessons in the units of study for teaching reading are aligned with the Common Core state standards. Each unit includes a Common Core standards alignment document that maps each lesson and the standards it addresses. For the first grade, there is one ELA standard associated directly with fluency. Reading Foundation Standard 1.4 states that students should be able to read with sufficient accuracy and fluency to support comprehension. Within this standard, there are 3 substandards that explain in greater detail the expectation for first graders in regards to fluency. RF 1.4a states that students should be able to read on-level text with purpose and understanding. RF 1.4b states that students should be able to read on-level text orally with accuracy, appropriate rate, and expression on successive reading. And RF 1.4c states that students should be able to use context to confirm or self-correct word recognition and understanding, rereading as necessary. The development of Standard 1.4a in this program is as follows. Every instructional activity related to fluency communicates to students how the activity aids in fluency and in turn comprehension of the text. Teacher guidance in the front matter of units with a fluency focus explicitly states that automaticity and prosody should be seen as means to an end, which is comprehension. The development of Standard 1.4b in this program is as follows. A variety of fluency-related activities are weaved throughout the units for students to practice fluency with explicit instruction in prosody, accuracy, and automaticity. These include reader's theater, guided reading, shared reading, partner reading, fluency inquiries, and repeated reading. The development of Standard 1.4c in this program is as follows. Strategies for monitoring reading and cross-checking attempts at unknown words, such as asking themselves, does their attempt to read a word look right, sound right, or make sense, are explicitly taught and practiced with students. After analysis, I've identified the following as strengths of this program. The instructional foundation is based on several well-known theories of learning and literacy development and best practices for fluency instruction. It is aligned with and comprehensively addresses Common Core state standards for fluency. It incorporates flexible and responsive structures for fluency instruction. Instruction is designed with intentional purpose, authenticity, and student independence in mind, and the activities for practicing fluency are highly engaging. The weaknesses of this program are as follows. The program assumes that teachers have extensive content knowledge and experience in teaching the reading process. All strategy mini lessons are provided, however, teachers must create daily shared reading and small group reading plans. One sample shared reading plan is provided in the unit with the intention that teachers would use it to model creation of their remaining daily plans. There are guidelines for small group reading instruction, but teachers must create the plans themselves. Ongoing assessment through the use of running records is highly encouraged. However, no assessments are provided and no lessons are provided for students who may need intervention or extension. All of the responsibility for creating and implementing responsive teaching rests on the teacher's shoulders. As mentioned earlier, this program is not all-encompassing and would require adoption of a separate phonics curriculum. And finally, this program comes with a very limited range of texts. 15 high-quality mentor texts are provided, but outside of that, it's the teacher's responsibility to source high-quality trade books to use for instruction and for students' independent reading. In conclusion, adopting this program makes sense if you are looking to exponentially increase authenticity of instruction and reading engagement at your school. You can invest large amounts of time into literacy-focused professional development for teachers. You have a large budget for purchasing vast amounts of high-quality books across a range of levels. You have an existing phonics program that will provide foundational knowledge for word recognition. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.